Hello, this is Greg Gaussman, Green Regs, coming to you on the 28th day of June, 2021. Time on deck, 3,500 hours Central Daylight Time. We in the United States of America are now in a proxy war with Iran. I brought you many reports about a proxy war between Israel and Iran. And the United States, I kept telling you, was kind of skirting on it, flirting with it. We were somewhat engaged. Well, now it is full force. Proxy wars, just like Israel has been conducted. And it's been conducted not just with Iranian-backed militias, but these militias are using weaponry directly, provably, demonstratively from Iran. And of course, as you know, this is kind of picking up, I guess, from Trump's earlier engagements in which we kill, there's Iranian General Soleimani. So let's get into this. Before we do, I must say, this comes to you as part of my Eyes Wide Open and Head on a Swivel series, because you need to know what's coming at you in the world. So I bring you a lot of videos to warn you and for you to use to warn your friends that you really need to be prepping. You need to get ready, because what I'm worried about really most of all is our power grid and things like that. So I'm going to get all into that. Now, otherwise, I also bring you videos about how to garden, how to eat free from the weeds and the trees, while foraging, while crafting, while medicinals. I've got videos on how to raise your worms. But I bring you a lot of videos to kind of warn you about the things going on in the world, around us, internationally, domestically, because the times we live in right now are just off the charts, nuts. All right, so, but I do have a special deal for you. Not only did I teach you how to eat free from the weeds and trees, but sometimes you need to really pile it high to the rafters just to get ready for what's coming. And it's a great investment when you get $300 off a 3-month supply of food that lasts 25 years. You get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Go to prepwithgreg.com and you will be a winner, because these are 2,000 calories a day. It'll help keep the hunger at bay. This is real food. It is dehydrated. It's not, it is the food that you just reconstitute. It is freeze-dried, not dehydrated. This will not be mush. It becomes the kind of food in the pictures here, guys. That's what it is. It's regular, real food. Good stuff. You go to prepwithgreg.com, $50 off of a 1-month supply. Now, that said, prepwithgreg.com, if you click on the Prep with Greg, My Patriot Supply logo at prepwithgreg.com, it will take you to all kind of prepping supplies and other good deals that will help you get by in these tough times ahead. It's a huge good investment with food inflation and inflation in general going up 20, 25 years from now. That's going to be a value, a bargain. Say, wow, I'm glad I invested in this. All right, all that said, hopefully that's where you're at. We won't have to use it before then. But holy smoke, guys, we are in crazy times. Here's what's happened. The United States actually fired on Iranian forces, Iranian-backed militias in the border of Syria and Iraq. They did this in retaliation against a recent attack by these same forces against Americans at the Baghdad airport, where hundreds of Americans are stationed. They hit the entrances where our troops use, mainly in the mess areas and stuff like that. So this was a retaliation against that. And there had been other acts earlier, like in April at the Erbil, there was a Erbil Air Force, Air Force base there in Erbil that had a CIA drone hangar attack. Prior to that, actually, Joe Biden had authorized attacks back in February against the Iranian forces. That was against their use of rockets attacking and injuring troops at that Erbil base. So we actually had Americans injured then. So in the meantime, I guess they kind of tamped this down because of these nuclear negotiations. But that's not gone so well of late, especially this new president of Iran elect. He says, I'm not going to negotiate. So where's all this leading? What does it mean? Well, let me tell you about these drones. Why is it that I say that they're demonstrably Iranian? They're not just some homemade things by these militias. Well, the old drones, we used to hack them, because as they would come in, we would jam them, or we would actually take over and fly them. But now they don't fly in on command. And not only that, but when they were being commanded in, you can not only take them over and fly them or jam them, you could trace back where the signals were coming from. You could triangulate on that signal and figure out who was sending it to you and attack them. Well, now they're sending them over on GPS coordinates. Far more sophisticated. Not only that, these drones are like 5 to 15 foot wingspan drones. They're huge drones now. They can carry up to 66 pounds of explosives, about 30 kg. So these are very substantial drones. They are definitely more sophisticated than the Katyusha rockets that Air Forces have been dealing with in the past. Those old Katyusha rockets have been around for a long time. These drones are very sophisticated weapons. The technology from which comes directly from Iran. Nobody else in the area has that kind of technology. So that's how they know these are Iranian supplied drones. So Iran is directly involved in supplying weaponry that's being used against American troops. Now, why are we there in the first place? Well, in part, we're there because we are supporting Iraq in their fight against ISIS. ISIS challenged Iraq. Iraq invited us in. But when we made this attack on the forces at the border of Iraq and Syria, the Iraq government actually got mad at us, and they criticized us quite verbally. Why would they do that? Well, because they're primarily Sunni, Shia. Saddam Hussein was a Sunni Muslim. Most of the population of Iraq, southern Iraq in particular, were Shia. The Iranians are Shia. And so the Shia Iraqis seem to sympathize a lot with the Shia Iranians. They're pretty close. And so when we're attacking Iranian-backed militias, especially on Iraqi territory, they're going to say something about it, even though we were there supposedly to help them fight ISIS. And ISIS was principally Sunni. So that's part of the complexity of the situation. And it really begs, why are we there in the first place? Why are we in Syria? Why are we in Iraq? Why are we over there at all? Why don't we let them take care of themselves and let the Lord sort them out in the end, some people used to say. But we're there, and we're getting attacked, and now we're suddenly involved in this proxy war. Right or wrong, where it's happened. And not only that, but the Iraqis struck back. They've just struck back today. Yesterday, we hit the, in fact, we blew up a building. I'll show you some video in a minute. We blew up one of their buildings, and they have hit back today, supposedly, claim at least, they shelled us with rockets and whatever else, maybe artillery. The word shelling was used. They claim they attacked American forces in Syria. That's what the Iranian-backed militias claim. So this is going on. This is escalating. The reason this is important is this. It could lead to more hostility with Iran, especially since the Iranians have claimed that they're not going to negotiate with us. That's what Biden wanted. He wanted to negotiate this nuclear deal. Now they're not going to do it. And Biden has told Iran that there will not be a nuclear weapon. No, he's told Israel there will not be a nuclear weapon in Iran on his watch. Sounds like Trump. I don't know. But why it matters is this. We may wind up in a conflict with Iran. It could happen accidentally. We're already in a conflict with them, by the way. It's just proxy. But how proxy is it when one side's directly supplying the armaments? This could easily escalate to something bigger. Iran is not Iraq. It will not be the kind of cakewalk our forces saw back when they fought the forces of Saddam Hussein. The Iraqi forces, the Iranian forces are much bigger. The nation is bigger. The weapons are more sophisticated, and they have, they've got, practically, they can launch satellites. They practically have developed the technology for nuclear weapons. Allegedly, they don't quite have enough uranium. They're not far off from it, though. And it's been alleged that they actually got a couple of nukes from Kazakhstan way back when. Alleged. Who knows? But guys, what it really matters is this: in the written doctrines of the Iranian forces, Iranian Revolutionary Guard, it says that they're at war with us, that they will attack our power grid. That is their modus operandi. That's what they say in their own military doctrine, because they recognize what so many people here seem to fail to see within our power grid industry and within our politicians, is that the power grid of the United States is our Achilles heel. That's our weakest link. You take down our power grid, our society will unravel, and will be mass mayhem. the United States will almost cease to exist in a year if you take out those big transformers that take so long to replace. My friends, I've chaired 2 power grid defense conferences, and this is why it matters. 2 power grid defense conferences. This is my podium placard. This is why it matters. It's in their doctrine, take down our grid. I'm okay, they can't quite EMPS. You don't have to EMPS. All they got to do is go in and do a kinetic attack against these large transformers. And they've already apparently done a practice situation of this. And somebody did, and it's thought that maybe for several reasons, or it might have been North Korea, that did this proxy operation against the Metcalf station near San Jose. And April 13th, I believe, of 2016. It was April 16th of 2013, one of those two. I get a little bit less dyslexic. All right, so all that said, no, this is serious. It was the same day that the North Koreans canvassed one satellite first over Washington, D.C. too. So that's thought to be practiced by the North Koreans. However, somebody mentioned the head of the Revolutionary Guard of Iran that, hey, you know, you can take down the United States power grid if you take down 9 certain critical, if you find the right 9 critical substations and take them down, you can take down the entire United States grid. Cascading failures, fire those big transformers, and the general reply, I've already targeted 20. They have proxy forces here. Yeah, you know, if it really gets serious, that's their mission. Let's hope that they never get to carry that out, that it gets blocked, or there's never the cause or reason to rise to that occasion. That may be why we should get ourselves out of that area. But we're there. And we are in a conflict, a proxy war. It's festering, bubbling. You know, Vietnam was a proxy war against Russia. So, in North Korea was Korean War was a proxy war against Russia and China, mainly China in that case. So, you know, those are some pretty hot proxy wars. It was occurring as part of an overall part of the Cold War. Yeah, how cold was it? So, you know, you have to put some of these things in perspective. All right, so let me share some articles here with you guys real quick. We'll share screen. All right, so my cursor stuff. Move cursor. So look over here. Oh yeah, the White House. The White House says airstrikes against Iran-backed troops were intended to limit escalation in the Middle East. Really? Well, what happened? The next day, pro-Iranian forces are attacking. Pro-Iranian forces claim they shelled Americans in Syria. See this in some other articles. Bang. So much for limited escalation. It's already escalating. That's why I say that there's the danger here. And yeah, you can see in here we're talking about, oh yeah, look at this title up here. Forever war light. The question is, will it remain light? It will probably not be forever. There's probably some terminal point to this. But will it be light? Time will tell. This is the structure that we destroyed. There's a video I'll show you here in a little bit right here. Unclassified F-15E airstrike on, this is in Syria. Blow this up. This building, watch it. It is going to go boom. Now you can see it in infrared. Taken by a FLIR or looking infrared camera. And it's digitally, you know, the scene was disturbed because it's so bright from the explosion. And that building is gone. Look at all the dust look at all the dust all around here. I mean, these are tractor trailers out here and they're just covered in dust from this explosion. It's all out here. Now, that was no tiny explosion. Whoever it was in that building, they suffered a night, you might say. So here we go. We'll skip through it a little bit. This is a U.S. military video. Look at that compound. I got a helipad on top or something. Oops. They did a replay there. It's like a fortress reef on that building. Well, this building is gone. It's right in the middle of this compound too. These roofs all got walls, fortress type walls on the top. Yeah, very much a fortress type structure. They hit right in the dead center of it. And yeah, they blew that building up. Nobody in that building, and this is unclassified, nobody in that building is particularly happy at the moment. If they're still with us. So this says February airstrike that I mentioned earlier did not stop hostilities against U.S. forces in Iraq. On June 10th, 3 drones attacked the Baghdad International Airport. That's the attack I was telling you about that we just retaliated against. But you can see there was also other attacks besides the April attack and the June 10th attack back in May and June against the Ain al-Assad Air Base in the Anbar province. So these attacks have been going on. But the United States, I think, was trying to tamp down response to it simply because they were wanting to cut a deal. But the new president of Iran, Mr. Ibrahim, President Ibrahim Raisi, however you say that, Raisi, he said, nope, I'm not meeting. It's non-negotiable. He described the issues in general is non-negotiable. He says, I am not going to meet with the Biden administration. So there you go. So Joe Biden's great ambitions got water thrown all over. What is that going to take us, guys? All right, so let's end that stuff right there. Stop share. This is what I'm telling you. You got to have your eyes wide open and head on the swivel, guys. I mean, Iran, China, Russia, North Korea, even Venezuela. Not so much Venezuela, but as a launching ground maybe for somebody else to blame it on any of the others. We've got some countries that aren't exactly fond of us. And the weakest thing that we've got in this country, and they all know it, and it's in their doctrine, is our power grid. If you take down our power grid, we are in severe trouble. That's why I tell you guys to prep. But it's also why I have chaired 2 power grid defense conferences. That's why I bring people on my channel from time to time to talk about power grid defense, and I talk about it from time to time, and we'll some more. And I'll be bringing these guests back again, and we'll be going more into things that you can do to get a power grid hardened. That's very important to me. It's also important to me that we preserve our freedoms. For that reason, I've started the Freedom Restoration Foundation. A lot of channels come on here and they just talk about the sky's falling, run for your lives, and dig a hole and buy some cheese. Well, I say buy the cheese, and you might want to dig a hole, but I also talk about things we can do to stop it. I even talk about the power of prayer. I believe that's important too. Things that we can do, and of course, some of you believe in inevitability of prophecy. Now, whether we're in that prophecy era or not, and what it really means to us, I do believe you can alter the prophecy somewhat, because think of the Jonah and the whale. You know, Jonah had the mission to prophesy against Nineveh, I believe, and he went in there and did it. And that city repented, and they were saved. There was 2 cities, in fact, I believe he went to prophesy against, and they repented and were saved. Had they not done that, they would not have been saved. Some of you do not believe in that sort of thing. Okay, well, fine. The whole point of the matter is outcomes can be changed. Whether you want to take the faith-based aspect of it or not, outcomes can be changed. A lot of it is in the power of prayer and or your actions. I do believe in taking discrete actions. That's why I founded the Freedom Restoration Foundation. And that's why I tell you to prep and get ready. That's why I'm involved in power grid defense. I'm a member of 2 national power grid defense committees. So, and one chaired by Dr. Peter Vincent-Pry. He started the National Security Homeland Task Force. So, and I'm also in the Secure the Grid regular meeting teleconference. So, 2 organizations that I'm so actively involved in. So I'll be bringing you more stuff on that. So stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and bang the notification bell and click off, because I'll bring you more of this stuff. What does it really boil down to is let's work together. Let's get our grid secured. And I'll bring you more stuff on that. And let's keep our freedom secured, but let's hope for the best and prepare for the worst. If you're not prepared, if you're not getting ready, you're not paying attention to the world today, my friends. The world is perilous, perilous. That's why I keep bringing you these videos. And I know many of you by now who are watching my channel get it, but to really make it work, share it. Share these videos. Spread the message. That is the message of this video. Spread these videos. Spread this message. Why? Because the more people that start prepping, the less hungry people there are going to be in the end. The less people there's going to be to come to not only eat your food, but eat you. The more people we win over, the easier it's going to be to get through this, whatever hits us. My objective is to help us get through this, so we can, in the end, if it hits a fan, we can stand up, shake the dust off, and build a better world on the other side. Hopefully, we can keep that event from happening, and we can still build a better world. That's my real hope. But that felon, let's survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. That is the proposition of my channel. If you survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. So share these messages so we can all stay alive and out of the hive and thrive. All right, my friends. Well, that I want to say a hearty, healthy thank you very much for watching.